welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to go over some financial stuff for you guys. I haven't been doing that lately. I've been so focused on this foster care to adopt thing that I haven't been doing any videos about financial freedom. So here I am today. I want to help you guys out with something that's really important and helped us get through our debt-free journey. So if you guys didn't know, me and my husband, we are completely debt-free. We even own our house. So it's pretty exciting. We took about 2 years to pay off our mortgage. So it's like $54,000 is what we had left to pay on it, and we knocked it out. We were making anywhere between $25,000 to $50,000 in that time. So it was a pretty big feat for us and to do that in 2 years. And here's some ways that what we did to control our spending. And let's get right into this. So some things to do to get control of your spending. People ask me this all the time. Like, I don't know why, but I just spend all my money. I don't know where it goes. So my first tip for you is to find out where your money goes. We all have online banking. You can go through and you can find out exactly where your money is going. Every single time you go to, that gas station down the street and buy that pizza for a couple dollars, or wherever you do, or you go and buy a drink or something like that, like you find out how much money you spend on everything. Or maybe you have a clothing habit and you just go out and you spend money on clothing. So you just you go through that list and you find it and you figure out exactly, you itemize it and you figure out how much you're spending, and that's how you do it. It's called online banking. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know anyone that just pays cash unless they're doing the debt-free thing. Everyone normally has a debit card or a credit card, and those are really easy to find out where you're spending your money. When you find out, you might be able to control your spending a little bit better, because then you know. Then you're like, oh, I'm not going to the gas station today because I just spent $600 there last month, so you don't want to do that. So find out where your money is going. That's my first tip. My second tip is to simplify your life. There's all these crazy phases going on right now in the social media community about minimalism and KonMari your house and all these kind of things. So I've done this on a very minute scale in our home. I kind of go through an area, I pull everything out of my closet or my kitchen cupboards, and I decide, okay, I don't use all this stuff. I haven't used it in the last 6 months or a year. If it doesn't bring me very much joy, I completely just get rid of it. I donate it. I give it to a friend. I rarely actually just sell my stuff because it just isn't worth it to me, unless it's kids' clothes, and then I take it to this place that's the consignment place. But for the most part, I just donate it. And I save money this way. Believe it or not, you're hey, you're just getting rid of stuff. What if you need that thing? You're going to lose money. But when I simplify my life, I realize I don't need everything. I don't need to buy a whole bunch of stuff and clutter up my life. For each holiday, I don't buy dollar decor and stuff like that. I don't do that because it's just cluttering my life and it's just excess money to spend on just stuff, especially for your kids. Kids is a big one for me. So when I buy stuff for my kids, I normally just buy them things that they only play with, and it has to be a like item, like Legos or Barbies or something like that, all the same stuff. It can't be something different, because otherwise they're just not going to play with it, because I know my kids. Also, you need to figure out, this is my next step, figure out what you need versus what you want. So this is a pretty big deal. And it's really hard to figure out, especially as an American, I feel the difference between a need and a want. So here's an example for you. I really, really want a black Cadillac Escalade, brand new, but I don't really have that kind of money, thousands and thousands of dollars, to spend on that. I could go and I can get payments, and sure, with the money that I make at my job, I could probably do that and I could probably afford it. But that's just kind of a want. And my little 2006 Chrysler 300 is working just fine for me, that I bought from my uncle with hail damage. It's fine. I have a car. It actually is a need. I have a car to get me to work and from work, but I don't need the Cadillac Escalade. Maybe someday, when I have more financial freedom, I could do that. But at this point in my life, there's no need for it. It was just a want. Does that make sense? I hope so. Or if you're at the grocery store and you are having a hard time getting out of debt, you might want to buy Ben & Jerry's ice cream, but do you need it? Probably not. You probably could survive off of those bananas in your cart, and you can make You know what I mean? Like, you could probably not have it as a treat. Every once in a while you can treat yourself, but we'll get into that in a minute. Also, my next tip is to get on a budget. And this is so important. When me and my husband got on the same page and got a budget, things just started clicking for us. And we've always had a budget. Like, ever since we got married, we had a relatively good budget. But in the last few years, we have gotten really good at this budget. Like, we regularly go, we find out what we're spending our money on, readjust, figure out what we're saving for. Right now, we're going through a kitchen remodel, and we have all the money that we need for the kitchen remodel already. We're not like just saving up for it to go. We had all the money saved, and now we're doing the project. And there was a lot of surprises in the project, and we had a pretty big budget for it. So that means, like, we have enough money for it. So we're not like just going out and spending money impulsively, because we have a budget that tells us what we can spend money and what we can't spend money on. Speaking of the budget, so going back to these needs and wants, in your budget, I want you to categorize a below fund. So all this money in the below fund is money that you can just spend on whatever you want. You can buy that Ben & Jerry's ice cream. You can do whatever you want with it. Like, we call it personal money. Me and my husband, we both, every single paycheck we get like $50 each in our personal money, so that we have that freedom. We don't have to come to each other and ask us if we could spend that money. We have that money in there, and we could buy whatever we want with it. And so that's kind of cool. And I have been saving up mine for a while. I have enough money probably to go to Europe, because I've been saving it for so long. I'm not much of a spender anymore, because I'm like a saver. So that is where my blow money goes. So wouldn't that be a fun blow money trip to go to Europe? Can you imagine? Also, with your budget, have accountability. Have somebody else looking in on your budget, making sure you are doing it. Like your spouse, and if you don't have a spouse, a really, really good friend. And if you have accountability, you are more likely to start saving than you aren't. So make sure it's someone that will give you some tough love too, if you're not married. Preferably, if you're married, you have your spouse doing it. Same accounts, everything on the same page. Okay? Also, I want to say this for the next tip is say no to thyself. This is so hard for people. For me, I had this like complete addiction to buying clothing. I literally haven't just went out and just blew money on clothing probably in 3 years. I have gotten gift cards for clothing stores, and I went and bought stuff. I went to, sometimes I go to Old Navy to buy myself a pair of jeans. I buy some work pants here and there. But like, I have not gone out and bought clothing in 3 years. And this is like a testimony, honestly, like that God has delivered me from this addiction to buying clothes. I used to just spend hundreds of dollars, I'm not joking, on clothing. And I just feel like it's just not a need in my life anymore. And so just say no to yourself. When I go into the store, I have things that I want to buy. I have my clothing range I want to buy in. I have things that I need, and I have a list, and I'm like only buying things on that list. I go through Pinterest if I need a new item, and I figure out exactly what style I like and what kind I like, so I know that when I wear it, I feel good in it. I feel confident in it, and I can wear it every single day. So in my closet, I want to have everything in there that I like. And that goes down to simplifying your life again. You want everything around you, stuff that you like, and it's not causing you stress. So that's a really, really good tip. My next tip is find out what is most important to you and pay cash for it. And so, like, we do this all the time. We do savings charts. We find out what the most important thing for our life is, if it's a big purchase, and we make a savings chart for it. And normally it's thousands of dollars. Right now we have a savings chart for a future adoption, and that is posted on our fridge. Before we had one for our car. Lastly, the one before that, when we had one for getting out of debt. So these things really help you to work on that thing and keeping it in front of you and having it cross off each one. It sounds really childish, but it really helps. We need that help. We need that in front of us every single day, so we don't go out and blow that big chunk of change that we've been saving on something really not what we really needed. So anyways, my last thing, and this is the most important thing, is to how to get control of your spending, is find out your why. Why do you want to get control of your spending? What do you want to do that you can't do because you spent all your money? For us, it was someday we want to be a missionaries to other countries, and we want to support other missionaries. I had this dream of being a missionary, self-supported missionary, and also funding other missionaries full time. This has like been a dream of mine for a while. And honestly, a few years ago, I would say this is not possible at all. But since getting out of debt and since focusing on getting my spending in control, I totally have been able to see this dream almost come to reality. It's amazing what God can do with a yes heart. So, you got to figure out what's your why. Maybe your why is like, I want to retire so I can just watch my grandchildren for free. Something like that. So, like, you need to figure out what's your why. Or maybe, like, my why is I just need to get out of debt. I just mountain of debt. I want to do something else with my life. I feel trapped. I want to do something else. Or I want to change my career, but I can't change my career because I couldn't afford it. That's a problem. You don't want to be in that place where, like, you hate your job, but you can't quit because you couldn't afford it. And so I just want to encourage you, like, find out your why. Find out what you're doing, what your purpose is, and get a hold of your spending. Anyways, that's all the tips I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoy these. If you like these tips, please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and I hope you guys have the best day ever. Bye!